The idea of reducing a reliance on the US dollar has been gaining attention, and recently the BRICS nations have announced their plan to create a currency backed by gold. In a video, we'll discuss the USD's role in the world, the power of the BRICS economies, and whether could BRICS take down the US dollar. Make sure to watch the video till the end, because we'll cover what steps BRICS is considering to reduce dependence on the US dollar, and finance expert opinions on the potential impact on the world if BRICS succeeds. Let's start the video with a brief intro to BRICS. Introduction to BRICS. The term BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These are 5 countries that are known for their fast-growing economies and significant influence on global affairs. Together, they make up about 40% of the world's population and a quarter of the global economy. The main goal of BRICS is to work together on economic growth, sustainable development, and making international financial and political institutions better reflect the influence of emerging economies. They have also created new financial institutions to support development projects and financial stability among member countries. Current role of the US dollar. The US dollar is considered the most important currency in the world. This has a big impact on how countries trade with each other and manage their money. Many countries and big financial organizations keep a lot of USD in their reserves. This gives the United States special advantages, like being able to borrow money more easily and having a big say in how the world's money works. The USD became so important after a big agreement in 1944 called the Bretton Woods Agreement. Even though the agreement isn't in effect anymore, the USD is still powerful because people trust the United States and its economy. There are a few reasons why the USD is still on top. The US has the biggest and strongest economy in the world, which is a big deal. Also, there are lots of places to invest money in the US, and people feel safe doing that. And because so many people use the USD, it just keeps getting more popular. Now, let's talk about the BRICS countries. They're all big and important countries with a lot of power. Together, they have a huge amount of money and do a lot of trading with each other and with the rest of the world. BRICS is economic power. BRICS is a group made up of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and together they have a big impact on the world economy. Each of these countries has its strengths, and they work together to make a big chunk of the world's money and trading. Brazil is great at exporting things like soybeans, coffee, and sugar, and they also make a lot of stuff like airplanes and cars. Russia mostly makes money by selling oil and natural gas to other countries, and they also have a strong military and technology industry. India is known for its technology and services, like making software and providing IT services. They also sell a lot of things like clothes and medicine to other countries. China is a huge player in the world economy because it makes a lot of stuff and sells it all over the world. They are the second biggest economy in the world. South Africa is a big player in Africa, and they make a lot of money from industries like mining, making cars, and banking. They're also a big producer of things like platinum and gold. Together, these countries make up about a quarter of the world's money and about 18% of the world's trading. They are becoming more and more important in the world economy. BRICS countries use their combined economic strength to have a big influence on the world. They contribute a lot to the global economy and trade, which shows how powerful they are. Next, we'll discuss how these countries are trying to rely less on the US dollar. Challenges to the US dollar. The US dollar has been really important in global finance for a long time, but now some big countries are trying to rely less on the dollar. They have a few plans to do this. 1. They want to use their own money more when they trade with each other. This way they won't have to worry as much about the value of the dollar changing, or about getting in trouble with the US. 2. They're thinking about making new money that they all agree on. This new money would be a backup to the US dollar for when they do business with each other. 3. They're making deals with each other that say they have to use their own money when they trade. This is especially true for buying and selling energy, like when Russia sells oil to China and India. They want to use their own money for these deals. 4. They're also making their systems for paying each other. This is so they don't have to use the US system for paying people from other countries. Russia and China already have their systems for this. BRICS countries are discussing the possibility of creating a digital currency that would use advanced technology to make transactions safe and efficient. This new currency could be used for international trade instead of relying on the US dollar. Additionally, BRICS has established a bank called the New Development Bank, NDB, which provides funds for building infrastructure and sustainable development projects. By offering loans in local currencies, the NDB aims to reduce the need for borrowing money in US dollars, which supports efforts to decrease reliance on the US dollar. They want to use their currencies more, create new reserve currencies, improve payment systems, and make agreements with multiple countries to enhance their economic independence and stability. Let's discuss the concept of de-dollarization, which refers to efforts to reduce reliance on the US dollar in international trade and finance. We'll also talk about specific steps taken by BRICS countries to reduce their dependence on the US dollar. De-dollarization efforts. De-dollarization is when countries try to rely less on the US dollar for global trade and money matters. They do this to have more control over their economy, reduce the influence of US policies, and protect themselves from US penalties. Countries hope to make the world's financial system stronger and more stable by using different currencies and finding new ways to do business. BRICS countries have taken specific steps to reduce their dependence on the US dollar in international trade. One major move is that they have made agreements to trade with each other using their currencies instead of the US dollar. For example, Russia and China have agreed to trade using the ruble and yuan. This helps to decrease reliance on the US dollar and strengthens economic ties between these countries. Additionally, these countries have created their payment systems to avoid relying on the US-dominated SWIFT system. Russia's system for transfer of financial messages, SPFS, and China's cross-border interbank payment system, CIPs, are designed to make international transactions without depending on the US dollar. These systems are important for maintaining financial transactions even if sanctions are imposed. The BRICS countries have been working on some financial initiatives to reduce their reliance on the US dollar. One of these is the establishment of the BRICS New Development Bank, also known as the BRICS Bank, which provides money for big projects like building infrastructure. Expert opinions. It's a tough road ahead for BRICS countries if they want to reduce the dominance of the US dollar as the world's main reserve currency. Experts say it's a big challenge because of economic and political reasons. Even though there's interest in creating a currency for BRICS countries, it's still in the very early stages. However, for it to work, these countries need to work closely together, which is currently not happening. On top of that, some big problems within the economies of these countries need to be fixed before any major changes can happen. The BRICS countries have had some success in creating the New Development Bank, but experts say they need to do more to challenge the dominance of the US dollar. Some people think it's inevitable that this will happen, but others think it's just a fantasy because the BRICS countries have different economies and face political challenges. Even though the BRICS countries have talked a lot about reducing their reliance on the dollar, they haven't made much progress in actually doing it. This is because they're not big enough and don't have enough support from financial institutions to make a real change. Potential impacts. Imagine if BRICS could reduce the power of the US dollar. This could lead to some big changes in the world. Here's why it could be good. 1. More control over money. BRICS countries would have more say over their own money, making them less affected by what the US does with its money. This could help them deal with money problems without relying on the US. 2. Safer money handling. Countries all over the world might start spreading out their money instead of keeping so much in US dollars. This could make the world's money systems more stable. 3. More trade among BRICS. If BRICS countries relied less on the US dollar, they might trade more with each other. This could help these countries work together and become stronger economically. Here are some potential problems if the BRICS countries were to succeed in using their currency instead of the US dollar. 1. Market volatility. If this change happens, the value of money around the world could become less predictable. This could make it harder for countries to keep their economies stable, especially those that rely a lot on the US dollar. 2. Challenges in making the change. It would take a lot of time and work to start using a new currency. During this time, some countries and markets might not like the idea, which could cause problems. 3. Tensions between countries. If the BRICS countries start using their currency, it could cause disagreements and problems with the US. This could lead to conflicts that affect the whole world. Conclusion. We've been looking at the idea of countries moving away from using the US dollar and what BRICS nations are doing about it, like making trade deals using their currencies. While it's impressive that BRICS countries are trying to use their currencies more, most experts think it's going to be hard to make the US dollar less important anytime soon. The US dollar is used a lot in global trade and finance, and as a backup currency, so it's not going to be easy to change that. How will it affect our country if BRICS succeeds in weakening the power of the US dollar? There are varying opinions from experts around the world, and we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Do you think BRICS can reduce the value of the dollar? Also, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating news about the world of finance.